My name is Hans van der Ven. I'm right now a visiting scholar here at Peking University. I teach modern Chinese history at Cambridge. I grew up in Holland. I was educated in the United States. I've lived for many years in China. So different ranges of backgrounds. But I also think that the Communist Party was a very disciplined organization, and was made disciplined by the Yan'an rectification movement between 1942 and 1944, which was painful, but made it a disciplined party as very different from the Chinese nationalists.
二战对我们所有的人都有很大的影响。
I think especially now that China is by and large at peace, it's worth reminding ourselves of how terribly violent it has been, not just in the Second World War, but in the 1930s, the 1920s, during the Boxer Uprising, during the Taiping Rebellion. Many of the things that I write about are as a reminder of that and an attempt to understand its origins, but also its effects on people living today, both here and elsewhere.
在现代化的战争里面，多元社会是非常重要。
I think there are different traditions, yes. There is a Confucian tradition that is very diverse and very interesting. But there are other traditions in China. There's a Buddhist tradition. There's a Christian tradition that actually goes back for many centuries. There's also this sort of the Jianghu tradition, which I think is very interesting. There's a Taoist tradition. There's the north, the south, the Xibei, the Dongbei, Beifang. These are all very different. And so I think it's that complexity that we need to keep in mind as we think, or try to think what these cultures might be.
把这个爱国，就是把它分散很多东西，然后我想我们是对历史比较公平。
I think one of the key things about being modern, it's very hard to define, but there is this sense of rupture, that we are different from what went before, that sense of separation from the past, and yet also recognizing that a lot of the past is with us, but there is this sense of a break. And that's a very important part of modernity. And I think it's far more interesting to think not about a clash of civilizations, but about the world having to face a number of very serious problems. Some of the big problems today are environmental pollution. We all have to deal with that. We have to think about the fact that we now have a population that has grown from 1900 from 1 billion to 7 billion. So I think these are the problems that people from different parts of the world all have to talk about. So it is much less a clash of civilization than people around the world thinking about key problems that we all face in very different ways maybe. But they are the same problems, and we can learn from each other and have that discussion that actually is quite global.